Hey everyone, hope you all are doing good. In this video on cybercrime, we will be explaining you about what is cybercrime, types of cybercrimes and how to prevent them.
Starting off with the session, let's look at the agenda for today. Initially, we'll be discussing what is cybercrime, what are cybercrime categories, then the different types of cybercrime. We'll also discuss preventing cybercrime, tips to prevent cybercrime, cybersecurity, and the role of cybercrime in cybersecurity. So let's quickly hop into our first subtopic, that is what is cybercrime. Let us first start defining what exactly is cybercrime. Cybercrime is defined as a criminal act committed with the assistance of a computer or other electronic devices connected to the internet. Cybercrime can be committed by individuals or small groups of people with little technical knowledge, as well as highly organized global criminal groups with relatively talented developers and specialists. Any criminal activity carried out over the internet is referred to as cybercrime. With 4.5 million attacks in July 2020, India was the country with the highest number of attacks, making it vital to raise the awareness about cybercrime. Now the question arises, why cybercrimes are carried out, right? So the majority of cybercrime is committed by cybercriminals or hackers looking to make money. Cybercrime affects both individuals and organizations. Aside from that, cybercriminals may use computer or networks to send viruses, malware, and other malicious softwares. Cybercriminals use a variety of profit-driven criminal acts to make money, such as stealing and reselling identities, gaining access to financial accounts, and fraudulently using credit cards to obtain funds. Basic cybercrime examples are stolen credit card information. The most common type of cybercrime occurs when a person's credit card information is stolen and illegally used to acquire or purchase goods or services via the internet. Another example is hacking into a government's website. Tampering with delicate government statistics is another type of cyber attack or cybercrime. Now that we know what is cybercrime, let's look into cybercrime categories. Cybercrime has been broadly classified into three categories. The types of methods used and difficulty levels vary depending on the category. So the first category is individual cybercrime category. Cybercrime involves a single person disseminating malicious or illegal material through the internet. Human trafficking and online stalking are the examples of individual cybercrime category. The next cybercrime category we'll talk about is property cybercrime category. This is similar to a real life insurance of a criminal illegally processing an individual's bank or credit card information. Criminals use people's bank details to gain access to their funds, conduct online transactions, or carry out phishing schemes to persuade people to give up their personal information. They could also use a malicious software to gain access to a web page with confidential information. So this is all about property cybercrime category. The next type of cybercrime is government. While this type of cybercrime is uncommon, it is still considered a serious offense. It entails breaking into government databases and hacking official websites. Terrorists are the hackers who break into government websites, and a crime against the government is also known as cyber terrorism. These criminals are usually terrorists or enemy governments of other nations. That's all about cybercrime category. The next topic on our list is cybercrime types. So what are different types of cybercrime? These are different types of cybercrime: malware, phishing, DOS attack, man-in-the-middle attack, and drive-by downloads attack. Let's discuss each types in detail. First one is malware, right? Malware is a broad phrase that encompasses a wide range of cyber attacks such as trojans, viruses, and worms. Malware is simply described as code written to steal data or to destroy things on a computer. Malware is basically any piece of software that is designed with the intent to damage, disrupt, or gain unauthorized access to our device and even inflict harm to data in multiple ways. How malware causes harm can help us classify the types of viruses we are dealing with. So let's look into types of malwares we have. First is viruses, worms, and trojans. First type of malware is viruses. Viruses, like their biological namesakes, attach to and infect clean files, and they can even spread uncontrollably, causing damage to the core functionality as well as deleting and corrupting files. They typically manifest as executable files downloaded from the internet by the active user. Virus need an already infected at active operating system or program to attack the computer. Usually spread via infected websites, file sharing, or email attachment downloads. The next type of malware attack is worms. Worms uses the network interface to infect an entire network or devices, either locally or remotely or via the internet. With each infected machine, it infects more machines. Worms are spread via soft vulnerabilities too. Trojans, malware that masquerades legitimate software that can be hacked. It prefers to operate invisibly and create security backdoors through which other viruses can enter the system. Because it looks trustworthy, users download it. Trojans themselves are a doorway. Unlike a worm, they need to host the work. The next type of cyber attack is phishing. Phishing frequently disguises itself as a request for information from a trustworthy third party. Consumers are sent phishing emails in which they are invited to click on a link and enter their personal information. Phishing emails have become more complex in recent years, making it difficult for some people to distinguish between a legitimate request for information and a fraudulent one. Although phishing emails are sometimes confused with spam, these spam messages, they are far more dangerous than a simple advertisement. This type of attack involves hackers sending malicious emails, attachment, or URLs to users to gain access to their accounts or computer. Cybercriminals are becoming more established, and many of these emails are not flagged as spam. Users are tricked into emails are not flagged as spam. Phishing consists of 5 steps. First one is preparation, then the setup, carry out, recording the data, and identity theft. So the first step in phishing is preparation or planning step. The phisher must decide which businesses to target and how to obtain email addresses from those businesses' customers. The second step after planning is setup. After deciding which firm to imitate and who their victims will be, they will begin the setup process. Phishers create communications to distribute them and collect data. The third phase of phishing is carry out the attack. Most people are familiar with this step. The phisher sends a bogus message that appears to be from a reputable source. The fourth step is recording data or data collection. The phisher keeps track of the information that victims enter into websites or pop-up windows. The last step is identity theft and fraud. Phishers use the information they collect to make fraudulent transactions, and up to a quarter of victims never fully recover from phishing attack. The next type of cybercrime attack we'll discuss is DOS attack, which is denial of service. DOS attacks can be carried out in a variety of methods, but the most common is a distributed denial of service attack. In computing, a denial of service attack is a cyber attack in which the perpetrator seeks to make a machine or network resources unavailable to its intended users by temporarily or indefinitely disrupting services of a host connected to the internet. A DOS attack, as the name implies, aims to disrupt network securities or services. Attackers send a large amount of data or traffic through the network until it becomes overloaded and fails. DOS attack can be carried out in several ways, the most common of which is distributed denial of service attack. The attacker sends traffic or data that overloads the system by utilizing multiple machines. In many cases, a person may be unaware that his or her computer has been hijacked and is aiding the DOS attack. Disrupting services can have major ramifications for security and internet access. Many large-scale DOS attacks have occurred in the past. A DDoS attack involves multiple connected online devices collectively known as botnet, which are used to overwhelm a target website with fake traffic. So this is all about DOS attack. The next attack we'll discuss is man-in-the-middle attack. The man-in-the-middle attack can obtain information from the end user and the entity with which he or she is communicating by impersonating the endpoint in online information exchange. A man-in-the-middle attack is a type of eavesdropping attack where attackers interrupt an existing conversation of data transfer, often inserting themselves in the middle of the transfer. The attacker pretends to be both legitimate participants. Let's look at an example to learn more about the attack. This is how the man-in-the-middle attack works. First, the attacker sets up a fake chat service that mimics that of a well-known bank. Using the knowledge gained from the first step, the attacker pretends to be the bank and starts a chat with the target. Then the attacker starts a chat on the real bank website, pretending to be the target or the user and passing all the needed information to gain access to the target's account. The next attack is drive-by downloads attack. We no longer need to accept a download or install a software update to become infected. By simply visiting a hacked website may now result in the installation of a dangerous code on the device. We only need to visit or drive by a website and click accept for any software, and the malicious code will be downloaded automatically to your device in the background without your consent. A download from these pages refers to the unintentional download of a virus or malicious software onto a computer or mobile device. Drive-by downloads typically take advantage of exploit security flaws in an out-of-date browser, app, or operating system. So this is how drive-by download attacks work. First step is injection. The attacker embeds or injects a malicious element into a compromised web page. This could be JavaScript code, an iframe, a link, or a redirect, a malvertisement, or cross-site scripting. The user views the page, triggering the malicious element. The element exploits a vulnerability in a part of the software stack of the user computer. This could be the browser plugins, the operating system. The third step is download. The user downloads the malicious file silently to the computer. In this example, the payload is a Trojan horse. Attackers may use other payloads also, such as viruses or worms, previously discussed in malware attacks. The fourth step is execution. The Trojan horse executes, opening a shell the attacker can use to gain control over the device. Then the next step is remote control. The attacker gains remote control to the personal computer. This enables them to extract passwords or other valuable data from the user's device. The last step is lateral movement. The attacker can now use credentials obtained from the user's device to connect to another more valuable system such as company's website or network and get the more information from regarding the user. So that now we have discussed cybercrime attacks. Let's now see how we can prevent from cybercrime. Tips to prevent cybercrime. The first one is back up all the data, the system, and any considerations. It enables data to be stored earlier to assist the business in recovering from an unplanned event. So basically, in the event of a disaster, one must have all the data backed up to avoid serious downtime, loss of data, and serious financial loss. The second tip is enforce concrete security and keep it up to date. Choose a firewall with features that protect against malicious hackers, malwares, and viruses. This enables us to identify and respond to threats more quickly. The endpoints need to be protected with protection system, since most of the attacks are done via the endpoints. Never give out personal information to a stranger. The strangers can use the information to commit fraud on others, or else the details regarding confidential information about the identity. This is the data that identity thieves seek. Individuals who have access to your personal data can retrieve your login information from various websites or commit cybercrimes such as tax fraud, all while posing as you. Use virtual private networks. VPN enables us to hide our IP addresses and delete our website's activities. VPN encrypts internet traffic and disguises the online identity of the person. This makes it more difficult for the third party to track the activities of the user online and steal data. Restriction on access to your most valuable data. Make a folder if possible so that no one can see the confidential document. Create strong passwords to access the documents. If hacker gets access also, it will be highly impossible them to crack the passwords and get hands on private data. Check the network security to prevent cybercrime. A cyber firewall checks your network settings to see if anyone has logged into your computer. Putting your network behind firewall is one of the most effective ways to defend yourself from any cyber attack. A firewall system will block any brute force attacks and made on your network or system before it can do any damage. Also, when visiting unauthorized website, keep your information secure. Using public websites, information can easily bypass the data. The next topic is cyber security and cybercrime. We'll see how cybersecurity can help us to prevent cybercrime. Cybersecurity is a domain designed to eliminate cybercrime. Cybersecurity can also be referred to as IT security. While cybercriminality is a kind of criminal behavior involving unauthorized access to computer systems. Cybersecurity and cybercrime. Cybersecurity gives in-depth knowledge about how to control or recover from cyber attacks, while cybercrime is a type of criminal conduct that involves gaining unauthorized access to computer systems. Here I am concluding the topic. India was the country with highest number of attacks with 4.5 million cybercrime attacks in 2020. Cybercrime is unauthorized access to computer systems and criminal behavior. Cybersecurity provides a thorough understanding of how cyber attack can be controlled or recovered. Online courses provide advice on how cybercrime and cyber hazards can be prevented, protected, and recovered.